Okay, welcome to the Chapter 16, Section 1, Special Journals, in particular the Sales and Cash Receipts Journal presentation lecture. In Chapter 16, we are going to break down our merchandising business a little bit further, and now we are going to start designating certain transactions to certain journals. So anytime we make a sale on account, it's going to go in the sales journal. Anytime we receive cash from either sales or from our customer or an account receivable, it's going to go in the cash receipts journal. We're going to take a look at those specific transactions here in Chapter 16. So please make sure that you have your notes and the demo problems so that you can go through those and attempt the demo problems and complete the notes as we go through the Section 1 material. All right, so let's take a look at Section 1. Let's first focus on the sales journal, then we'll talk about the cash receipts journal in Section 2. When it comes to special journals are going to have the amount columns used to record debits and credits to specific general ledger accounts. This is all going to become a lot more clear once we get an opportunity to take a look at an example of a sales journal. You can see what this is trying to explain. So of the journals that are going to be special journals that we are going to break up over the course of the next two chapters, sales journal, which we're talking about now, which is a sale of merchandise on account, cash receipt, which is any receipt of cash, the purchases journal, which is whenever we purchase any type of asset, usually merchandise inventory, and then also a cash payments journal, which is where any purchase when cash is being paid is going to be recorded. So the sales journal, this is what the sales journal looks like. So anytime that we see a clue indicating sold anything, so in this case, let's say sale of merchandise on account. This is going to tell us that we need to record this transaction in the sales journal. Date goes here, sales slip number here, the customer account to be debited, which is which customer, post reference, which will be used upon posting, and then we go into our different areas, our columns that are designated in the sales journal. So what is the amount of the sale? That's the amount of the merchandise sold on account. How much sales tax do we have to consider? And then also, how much are we charging our customer, which is the sale plus the sales tax payable? Now, let's take a look at this in a business transaction. Let's take a look at a source document. Let's say that we have sales slip number 50. And on December 1st, on your mark, sold merchandise on account to Casey Klein for $200 plus $12 sales tax. So this transaction is going to look like this. The first step is going to be to put the date in the journal here. Second step is record the source document, sales slip number 50. The third step then is to recognize the customer that is going to be debited. That's Casey Klein. Now we can move over and put the numbers in. We are going to credit sales for $200, which is the amount of the sale. We are going to credit sales tax payable for $12, tax on this transaction. And then the account receivable, the customer is going to have to pay $212 to complete the sale. Another transaction on December 3rd, on your mark, sold merchandise on account to South Branch High School Athletics for $1,500, and this is coming from sales slip number 51. Once again, step 1, the date. Put the date in for the transaction. Step 2, sales slip number, which is 51. Step 3, the account debited, South Branch High School Athletics. And then we can start putting in the numbers for the sale. In this case, we have a sales credit of $1,500. The high school is tax exempt. No tax is going to be charged for this sale, meaning that our customer, Branch High School Athletics, is going to be charged $1,500 to complete the sale. Demo problem 16.1 is going to consist of 5 transactions. You can go ahead and attempt those now if you wish, if you have the demo problem next to you. Otherwise, we will be going over these together in class. Some of them we'll be doing together, and others you will be asked to record on your own, and we will come together to make sure that all of these transactions have been journalized properly. The subsidiary ledger. We get to posting. We talked about this briefly in the last couple of chapters, chapter 14 and 15. However, we put off the posting portion to the subsidiary ledgers until we get to chapter 16. So starting now, we are going to be posting these transactions and posting to the subsidiary ledger. The subsidiary ledger, remember, are ledgers that are used to keep track of all of our customers and how much they owe us, as well as all of our vendors and how much we owe each vendor. Right now, we are going to focus on our accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. So for the transaction that we recorded on December 1st, sales slip number 50, we made a sale to Casey Klein. Casey Klein now owes us $212 more than he did before. So when we go and post in the subsidiary ledger, we find Casey Klein's subsidiary account. We also have address here for contact information. And then we would post it as normal. So we would first put in the date, December 1st, which comes from the journal. We would post reference the journal it came from, sales slip or sales journal page number 12. We would then debit the account for $212 and then carry over the new balance, an existing balance of $500 plus the $212 sale, meaning Casey Klein now owes us $712. Demo problem 16.2 walks us through posting to the subsidiary ledger. At this time, if you have the demo problems and like to attempt them, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, we will be doing them next time we meet in class. Now, completing the sales journal, after we have completed all the transactions for a particular month, we then have to complete the journal. And what this is going to consist of is a couple of different steps. Instead of posting each transaction separately to the general ledger, like we did when we were posting from the general journal, only the column totals are to be posted. Therefore, we are going to post the total for the sales credit, the total for the sales tax payable credit, and the total for the accounts receivable credit. These are the postings that get posted to the general ledger. The postings to the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger that we talked about on the previous slide, those have to be posted individually. So in this case, we would have posted all of our customers to the accounts receivable subsidiary accounts. Once we have completed that posting process, then we are on to posting our general ledger accounts, which is the sales, sales tax payable, and the accounts receivable controlling account. So in this case, what we are going to do is first complete the journal by single ruling here, indicating that the next line is going to be a calculation. That is where we're going to put, at the end of the month, December 31st, totals. So we then add up the numbers for each of the columns. This is the total sales credit, total sales tax payable, and total accounts receivable debit for the month of December. After we have completed that and had the date here and the label totals, which is going to represent these numbers, we then double rule to indicate that the journal is complete. These numbers then will have to be posted to the general ledger account, the sales, sales tax payable, and accounts receivable controlling account. Demo problem 16.3 is going to walk us through how to complete the sales journal. And that is totaling up the columns with the proper rulings and proper date and proper heading as to what those numbers represent. You can go ahead and attempt this now on your own. Otherwise, we will be taking a look at this problem next time we meet in class. Now, posting the total of the sales credit column to the sales general ledger account. In this case, we are going to grab the total of the sales credit number, which is $10,750, and post that into the sales general ledger account. So to do the posting process, we are first going to put the date, then the post reference, which is sales journal page number 12. Then we are going to post the credit, which is the total of the sales credit column, $10,750, and then update our balance, taking our new sales credit balance to $310,750. Then we will post reference the sales credit column back to the ledger account that it was posted, account number 401. The next step is to post the sales tax credit, sales tax payable credit. So sales tax on the 31st is going to be posted from journal or sales journal page 12 for the amount of $555, giving us our new total of $1,846, and then post reference the sales tax payable credit column back to the account title or the account number in the general ledger, which is 220. Then finally, the posting of the total for the accounts receivable controlling account. December 31st, sales journal page number 12 as the post reference. The total debit amount, which is listed here in the sales journal, $11,305. updating the new total to $17,405, then going in and putting the post reference, account number 115, in parentheses underneath the total of the accounts receivable debit column. This would then conclude the posting of the sales credit, sales tax payable credit, and accounts receivable debit postings into the general ledger. Demo problem 16.4 is taking us through the practice process of posting these numbers to these different general ledger accounts: accounts receivable, sales tax payable, and sales. If you wish, go ahead and attempt this on your own in the demo problems. Otherwise, we will be doing it together when we meet next time in class. Now, to prove the sales journal, what we have to do is take another couple of step process here to prove it, to indicate that everything has proven out, the debits equal the credits, and we can carry the number over for the next journal page. So in this case, once we get to the end of the first journal page, or I should say journal page 12, we total up all these numbers. Single rule indicates that we are calculating with the next line. We are going to indicate this by taking the date that we are doing the calculating, which is on the 24th. Then, step number 3, we are going to write in the customer's account debited column carried forward, which means we are going to carry these numbers forward to the next journal page. We are not going to have to post any of these because we're not at the end of the month yet. Therefore, we just put a check mark here. We total up the columns, carry the numbers forward to the next sales journal page. So on January 24th, sales slip number, check mark because there is no sale. Description brought forward from the previous journal page. Post reference check mark here because these numbers aren't posted yet. And then we just carry the numbers over from the previous journal page and pick up where we left off on sales journal page 13. Demo problem 16.5 takes us through this process. So go ahead and give this a try if you wish. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, next time in class, we will be going through these examples. And that concludes the presentation lecture for Chapter 16, Section 1. Please make sure and review all the slides so that you have all the notes, and if you wish to attempt the demo problems. Otherwise, we will continue working on the demo problems next time we meet in class, and I will see you here next time when we do the presentation lecture on the Cash Receipts Journal in Section 2.